Can I hear you, Jacynth? Can I check?
Hello, can you hear me?
No.
Fantastic.
Right, let me introduce my first speaker. Jacynth Ivey currently sits at the helm of two companies, Inspiring Hope, and I know that, and jacynthivey.com, which is behind her, as you can see. She's a multi-award-winning transformational leader, coach, trainer, speaker, author, sought after, everything. 25 years experience across the UK and across the world, training and teaching and helping people build their lives, transform their lives through diversity with inclusion, organizational development. I mean, but the one thing I would say is that she makes a real tangible difference in people's lives. So let me just make sure everybody can see both of us. So she makes a real tangible difference in everybody's life, people who she connects with. A woman of many talents. She has authored the book, It's Okay to Be Different. This is how she teaches people to reignite their passion and fulfill their dreams. Yeah. So we're going to hear a lot more about that. She credits her success to her strong belief and clear focus on fostering strong relationships with others. I want to know about that, so I can't wait to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll again. Let's welcome first speaker for Global Champion Summit, Jacynth Ivey.
Hello, Camilita. I am honored to be here again on this summit. It's so wonderful to see you. Absolutely wonderful to see you and to be here and to share with some amazing people from across the globe.
Well, I feel like you're my big sister. Let me just level with everybody. I feel like you're my big sister, yeah? She's always telling me off. She's always telling me, don't do this and go and rest and do this and do that. I'm like, I'm resting, I'm going out.
All done with love, you know that, love.
I know. Jacynth, 7 steps to transforming your mind and achieving your brilliance. Now, you are the complete opposite of me. You are calm, you're collective, you're poised, and you are hugely successful. And so some people think they need to be like Camilita, rah, 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 rah. No, they need to be them. What does transforming your mind and achieving your brilliance mean?
For me, it is so important that we are authentically ourselves, and often we're trying to be like somebody else, we're trying to emulate, and there's absolutely nothing wrong in having role models. Yes. So that we look at their journey, we look at things that they're doing and see how it applies to our own lives. But it's so important to be comfortable with ourselves in our own skin and to create and navigate our own path. So Camilita, you do things that I think are absolutely amazing, and I will emulate some of them in my own way. I'm never going to be you, you're never going to be me, but we are both comfortable in our own skin and we have a different...
Let's talk about that right there. Let's talk about that right there. You talked about being comfortable with ourselves. There was a time I was not comfortable being Black, being a woman, being from the Caribbean. My English is not the best. I was not comfortable with all of that. And so I allowed that. People don't know that about me. They're hearing that now. I allowed that to hold me back. What do you mean about being comfortable with ourselves?
Yeah.
And how could we achieve that?
We get ourselves, and sometimes we are born into places and spaces where we feel different, where we don't look like somebody else, whether that be because of our skin color, our culture, our gender, for whatever reason is we don't look like the norm. And so we have to create and kind of reel back and say, so what is my norm? Because I'm never going to be white, never going to be white. So what is my norm? And we get back to that place where I have to start to value me for who I am. I have to be able to look in the mirror and say, my name is Jacynth Ivey, and this is me.
But what if you can't do that? What if you can't look in the mirror and say, because the average person, they don't know, because especially with social media and everything, it makes you feel as if you are not the best, you're the less than, whatever.
I think you have to start to think about, we all are good at something. We can all do something, whether that be bake a cake, arrange flowers, you know, stand up on a stage and speak to millions. We can all do something, and we have to find out what is that something that we can do, that we are comfortable in that space and in that place. And what does it feel like when we're in that place and in that space, when we are comfortable doing what we are doing? And then how do you start to gradually push out and increase that in terms of, you know, being able to say, well, I make fabulous cakes. Yeah. And that might be your absolute gifting. Well, I you know, and somebody else said, well, actually, I don't do that. We have to start to acknowledge what is different about us, find something we can do. We might say, we're not really good at it, but actually somebody else is saying, but you make fabulous cakes. You're fabulous when you're out there on the stage. You make such an impact when you just share your experiences. And so finding that thing, but getting somebody who you can trust to say, you know, is there anything that I do that is good? Or, you know, is there anything? Try and get some feedback from somebody who you trust.
The danger today, Jacynth, is this. The danger is this, right? We find somebody that we can trust, and we find somebody who is amazing and all of that. But then we look at other people who are different from us, and they look like success. And we think, well, I want some of that. Why can't I be more like that? What would you say when people are saying that about themselves?
Well, you know, we've often been there. If you look at some of the celebrities that are on TV and social media, and then we hear that they're depressed, or even worse, you know, they've got to a place where they've ended their own life, where they're living a life that is outside of the norm, shall we say, because they have not developed coping mechanisms so they can put themselves up. We can all put on a front, but it's what happens behind closed doors when we're by ourselves. And that's why I say relationships are so important. We can't do anything in life without having a good relationship. That might be a faith relationship with a higher being, but having a relationship with somebody else who is here on earth is really important, where you can connect, where you can, I call it breathe, where you're not kind of constantly holding yourself because you fear you're being judged. And and everybody needs to find that one person. And it's not always, we sometimes assume it's, you know, as people say, well, I haven't got a partner. It's not always your partner. You know, it's not always your husband. It's not always your wife. Yeah. A lot of people are, you know, can put that faith and trust in those relationships, and some people can't. And it's who is it that is in your life that is uniquely placed for you to say, you know, I need a little bit of feedback. I need a little bit of support.
We need people to push us, who actually believe in us. Sometimes we need someone to push us and say, look, I actually believe in you. And I know, like my inner circle, I push my inner circle. I say to them, guys, I know you can do it. Like, I know you can do it because I have done it, because I know how it felt when I couldn't do it. So I know you could do it.
But the other thing that's unique, Camilita, you push your inner circle, but you listen to them.
Oh, I do listen to them.
You hear what they say, so you can reflect that back. And that's so important. Sometimes people are there and they're saying, yeah, I'm listening, but they're not hearing you. They're not listening to how you say things, the words that you use, the words that you don't use, the things that you say, the look on your face. And that's so important when we're building and developing relationships. That's what a relationship is about. It's that you can relate to.
Right now, what you're saying there is paramount, because right now with COVID, right now with the global economic situation, right now, there are a lot of people who are very uncomfortable with themselves. Okay, perhaps they've made a mess, okay? Like like I say, you're so different from me. I will say to them, you made a mess. Sort yourself out, okay? You would be like, you've made a mess. No, let's put it together. Let's put it right. Let's put it.
I would say, you've made a mess. Okay, so what can we take from that?
Yeah. So let's talk about that right there. What would you say to people right now who've made a mess, and they are in a mess because of whatever they did before now?
But I believe, there is something in that mess that you did well. You might have been dressed up and messed up, as I say, yeah? I look good, but I messed up, but I really look good. Yeah. Find something in there, little thing. I got up on time. Yes. Sometimes it's going back to that minute detail to say that there was something that went well before you then start to think, but I didn't do this well, I didn't do that well, I didn't do the other well. And then to start to think about, okay, yeah, didn't go so well, all right, what are you going to do next time? What are you going to do that is different to this time, that is going to help you to get a different outcome next time? Yeah, that has to be the learning. And some people say, well, I don't know. And you kind of say, well, okay, well, if you did know, what would you do? Yeah, let's just throw out a few things that might not work, but let's explore a couple of things that you could do differently next time. And then, so what support do you now need to do that differently?
Yeah.
Whether you need a coach, you need a friend, you need somebody to talk it through. I need to perhaps, read something, go on an online course.
Yeah. Right. So it's actually being very practical, even in the midst of a situation. Because I know some people right now, how many of you, let's be, because Jacynth is going to be taking your questions, okay? She's the expert here today. She's going to be taking your questions. How many of you are in that place right now that you've messed up, or things got messy, or you wish you had done things differently, and you find yourself now in a situation where you wish you had made better decisions, better choices, better everything over the last 12 months, or the last 18 months, or the last 6 months even? How many of you would say that you are right there right now? You wish you had made better choices, or you wish you had done things differently? Let's be real. Let's not pretend. Global Champion Summit is not about pretending. This is a real situation here. Tell me what's going on. Talk to me. Yeah. Right. So she's now coming out of it. So Jacynth, what would you say to them? You talked about transforming your mind, achieving your brilliance. How can they do that now? How can they pull themselves up and get going again?
And I want to say that you will not have success without failure, because that's where you learn. All success, if you think about all of the people that have been successful in their life, think somebody back to Einstein, Edison, the light bulb, they all had so many failures before the success came. So failure is an opportunity to learn. It's not a time to lie down and play dead. It's an opportunity to learn. I say recognize your value. What is unique about you? Recognize your uniqueness and your value, and to believe in yourself and your abilities. Now that starts small, and as you start to believe and as you start to get confirmation, that belief begins to grow. You can start to wear that comfortably, because some of us are not comfortable in our own skin. We don't like to say that we're good at this or we're good at something else. And a lot of that is messaging that perhaps we've had from our early childhood. At school, my maths teacher said to me, you will never make anything of yourself. Yeah? You'll never be any good at maths, and you will never make anything of yourself.
My God.
Camilita, if you know for how many years I said to myself, I am no good at maths. Jeez. When the children came to me and said, Mommy, will you help me with maths? I'd say, oh, go to your dad, go to your father. And then one day he said to me, Jacynth, you've got to stop that. And basically what he was saying is tell myself a different story. And so I started to say, well, yeah, I can do maths. I know what 1 and 1 is and 2 and 2. I'm running my own business. Actually, yeah, I can do maths.
I tell you something, Sarah. You know my husband. All of you know my husband, Andrew, okay? He's called all of you, so you know him. And he's taken your payment for something. So you guys know Andrew. How many of you know my husband, Andrew? You just type it in if you know Andrew. Andrew would be the one, Jacynth, would all the time be talking about money. And I would stay away from it. Everybody says, I know Andrew. Andrew, they love Andrew. Oh, hey, he's watching, so you better say you love him. And I would always say that same thing. Andrew is good at money and I am not. I would say that. And then I caught myself and I thought, hold on, I'm going to be investing in property. I'm going to be doing this with him. Why the heck should I give him to do all the figures and I just sit back and let him just carry on? I said, no, I'm going to make myself understand the numbers and understand the figures. And I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I say to myself, I don't need to know how to do my tax return. I can live without that. Yeah, I've got an accountant who can do that and understand all the figures. But I know basic maths. So I no longer say I'm no good at maths. And that's the thing, is we sometimes have to find it. What is the story? What is the thing that keeps replaying in your head that says, I'm not good enough, I'll never be, I'll never achieve, it's great for them, but it's not for me. Yeah, and start to retell ourselves the story. And we all know when we've heard about positive affirmations, when we say over and over and over again, there's something that happens within our psyche, something that happens within our very being, every muscle, every fiber that starts to believe it. And we start to talk it, and we start to walk it, and we start to sit it. And eventually we become that person. We may never, I'll never be an Einstein with maths. But I'm never going to say I'm no good at maths again. I'm good enough.
Okay.
And that's the thing.
So
good enough.
So recognize who you are. Tell yourself a different story. Get rid of the old story. What else?
Know your worth. Don't settle. Know your worth. Do not settle for anything less. So once you start to believe in yourself, somebody could say, oh, you're no good at maths. It's okay. I know my worth. I know what I can do. And I'm absolutely at peace and happy with what I can do. Know your worth and believe in yourself are some of the most important aspects. And the 7 steps in my book talk about acknowledge your difference. And that starts from really understanding who you are, who you were created to be, and discovering then your reason why. And a lot of people kind of get a bit confused and don't know their reason why. And you say, well, why do you do what you want to do? Well, I want to earn lots of money. But that's not a reason why. That's a byproduct. And it's really, so when you've got this lots of money, then what? Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. What will it enable you to do? What will it enable you to be? What difference is that going to make? Look, that is going to add value.
Yes, what you're saying is so powerful, because I talked about before creating multiple incomes, and I talked about finding a need, solving a need, finding multiple ways. If you know and you understand who you are and your reason why, you will constantly find ways to evolve.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, and you will, and you'll constantly find, and I know one of your special areas is multiple streams of income. You'll constantly be looking for that multiple streams of income because you want to achieve your why. It's going to help you to achieve your why.
How many of you listening to Jacynth right now need to revisit and understand your why? How many of you listening right now? Come on, just type it in. Tell us now, Jacynth is seeing us. How many of you need to revisit your why? You probably don't even know your why. You kind of like you sort of lost your why as you went along. You type it in. Let us know where you're at, because Jacynth is going to give away a couple of chapters of her ebook. And if you don't tell us, you're not getting it. Let me tell you now. So you got to tell us. Come on, type it in quickly. Jacynth, go ahead.
Yeah, and for me, my why, when I think about my why, I have a really warm feeling. I feel really passionate about it. It draws me too. Your why needs to draw you in. Yeah, it needs to create an excitement. There needs to be a passion about wanting to achieve that why. And so that's really important. It's really important. And I do work with and support people to really start to, revisit their why, revisit their purpose, revisit what is it that they're doing and for what reason, for what purpose.
Katie said, just said, I lost my why and I lost my way.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we explore, you lost your why, you lost your passion. You didn't understand what you were here for, what was different about you, what was unique about you, and what is it that you have.
That's why you tend to follow others, and because you think they have the shiny penny syndrome. You think that they have the bullet for success because you don't even know who you are. And so you're just trying to find who you are by following so many other people.
That's right. That's right. And that's the next bit about being really, really focused. You talked about shiny penny, and too many of us have got this shiny penny syndrome. We kind of think we're on the direction, we're going to A, but something happens here that you think, oh, that's kind of interesting. Well, perhaps I could do that. I know a little bit about that. So off we go down that avenue, and it takes us away from our ultimate reason why.
We're seeing others succeeding, and we think that is what we should be doing as well.
Yes, yes. But it's not our passion. We probably don't have the knowledge, the skills, the experience that individual has got. We've not got the same why. And so what we should do is look and say, fabulous, wonderful. I wish you every success. If you need my support, I'm here. But this is my direction. This is my direction. Be really clear about where you want to go. Not many of us get in the car and just drive. We have a destination that we're going to, towards, and we keep in that destination, and we plug that in if we're not sure how to get there into our sat navs. We plug that in. Yes, we might get a detour like we do, and it might take us a little bit longer, but we have put our destination into that sat nav. And so that's what sometimes people need to do, is think, where is that destination? Plug it into that sat nav. You may get derailed, yeah, traffic lights come, detours happen, but get back on course. Keep focused.
And this is the reason why so many people find themselves either broke, unfulfilled, not sure of why they're even here, because they don't know who they are, as you said, understand the reason why, and they're not focused.
So when I was in the corporate world, so I was an executive director in public sector, and then I chose to leave and set up my own business, and it was successful. My measure of success at that time was the money was rolling in. The money was rolling in, and so I just focused on the money that rolled in. And then we had the Great Recession. I hadn't been focused. I hadn't really thought about my why, and the rug was pulled from underneath me. Contracts stopped. Money stopped, money ran out. I had to rely on government funding in order to eat.
Wow.
I had to contact all my, creditors, people like the mortgage, to negotiate payments.
Wow.
Because I wasn't focused on my why, and I wasn't clear about where I want to go. I didn't keep ahead of the game, Camilita. I never looked to see what was happening over the horizon. So I was just focused on the here and now. Yeah. So because I didn't look on what was happening on the horizon, I didn't flex my business. I didn't think about the relationships that I needed to develop in order to keep, and I didn't keep current. Wow. Yeah. So I can look back now and I recognize. So that didn't go well. That could be deemed as a failure. But actually, I had to take out some learning from there that said, actually, I need to progress.
People who are in that same position right now, because a lot of people are in that position because of COVID and the economy. What did you do to overcome? What did you do to bounce back? Because so many people are saying, Leslie says, I have an idea of my why, but I need to refine it. Leslie, you will get Jacynth's a couple of chapters of her ebook just now. So just hold fire. Claire says she's loved helping people, so she understands sort of more of her why. What exactly did you do? Because a lot of people are there now to come out from being broke and destitute to now having this successful business across the UK, 2 businesses. Talk to us.
One of the things was I had to stop going to my own pity party.
With cake and ice cream?
Cake, ice cream, balloons, you name it, the lot. It was a very attractive place to be. I had to say enough is enough. I didn't know what my next step was, but I knew enough was enough. And so then what I started to do was kind of think, so what have I got? What have I currently got? What's in my kit bag? What do I know? Who do I know? What can I do? So I started to think about all of those things, because actually when we start to think, we've got a wealth of knowledge, of skills, of experience, we know lots of people. So I started to reconnect with some of the people, because Camilita, what happened was when that rug got pulled out, I felt ashamed. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to see anybody, because from my perspective, they were all getting on with their lives and they were all successful. And I just wanted to hide. But actually, when I started to when I said enough is enough, and I realized they were in my corner. They were saying, but Jacynth, what can we do to help you? You're really good at this. You were fabulous at that. Wow. Let me help you. Let me just give you a little contract here. Yeah. And so the first thing is I had to deal with myself. I had to move myself out of the way, take myself away from that pity party and say, it's only me that's getting myself out of this situation. So I was fortunate maybe that there was something within me to do that, but I had to reach deep. I had to reach deep, Camilita.
Some people just can't. They don't know what to do. They're just sort of they can't pull themselves out. They feel, I've been dealt a bad hand, and so my life, this is my lot. And they just feel as if they can't. If somebody is in this situation right now and listening, or they know someone that is in the situation right now listening, what would you say to them that they need to do now, like today, to get up again?
Make a call. Make a call. Contact somebody who is positive, has a positive outlook in life. Make a call, take a deep breath and say, I admire you. I admire what you do. I need a bit of support to help me out of this situation.
Wow.
Take a deep breath and make a call. Everything starts with the first step is really important. Sometimes we're trying to put together elaborate plans. We want to create big dreams ahead of time.
Yeah.
But the first step is, if you can't take the first step, it don't matter what else is out there. So what is your first step? And if it's making that call, make that call. And then the other steps will start to fall in place. And you start to then, don't leave it and think, well, I don't know my why, I don't know my purpose, so therefore I can't do anything. Because actually, for me, my why found me. So I was working, Camilita, with a group of women. I was undertaking a residential program with a group of women. And I describe as they came in like wilted flowers, really dejected. Their body language said, I don't know who I am. It was a leadership program for people in the public sector. Halfway through this program, I looked and I saw these women beginning to sit up. I saw them talking about the I and the things that they were doing.
Opportunity.
And the end of the program, they left blossoming. And I had this overwhelming emotion. And I said, I'm getting paid to do this. I'm getting paid to work with women, to develop women from where they are. I'm getting paid to support the transformation in people's lives. Which is like, it was my passion to develop people's, my passion to see people grow and develop, and I was getting paid for it.
So before you were head, and now you were head without a plan.
So before it was head, it was about
with a plan. Yeah. And now it's sort of, this is more sustainable. This is, and then you're also thinking about the future, not just about today.
Yeah, and thinking about my legacy. So before it was contract, do the contract, get the money in the bank, contract, do the contract. And then I realized, actually, it's more than that. I have a real passion to see people, organizations to grow and develop, to be the best that they can be, to enable others, to enable them to do the same then for others, to leave that legacy. That is my reason why, that is my passion. Wow. And on the way, I earn a little bit of money. Great.
Wow. So, okay, let's come back to the numbers. We talked about understanding your why. We talked about not settling. We talked about focus. What else? What else did you give you?
So I talked about choose to take action now. We can procrastinate and procrastinate. We can put off. I'm not quite good enough. There's a bit of a fear of failure. We put things off. And as I said, the most important step to take is the first step, and not to put it off, to do it now. To do it now. And I know sometimes it's a cliche when people say the only time we've got is now, but COVID has taught us. COVID has taught us that we do need to act now. And my condolences to anybody who's lost somebody during this COVID time. And sometimes the loss is not death, but it's been a loss of a relationship, it's been a loss of job, or a loss of an opportunity. And so now is the time for us to take that action and to do something. And I was speaking to a woman who is incredibly successful at the top of her game. And she said to me, Jacynth, I feel such an imposter. Wow. She said, I fear being found out.
Why?
Top of the game, well respected, knows absolutely what she's talking about. But I think, Camilita, we all occasionally have that little bit of fear factor, that little bit of imposter syndrome. But we've got to continuously revisit, look where we've come from.
True.
Look at the feedback that we're giving. Look at the lives that we're touching. Whether that be, we're all in different sorts of businesses. And it's really important to think about what is the business that we're in and the lives that we touch.
Because we're in business for people, we serve people. Whether we sell a brand, product, or service, it is to support, it's to supply a need, it's to meet a need or solve a problem. That's the purpose of us being in business. It's not to sell to trees. Although, because if you're selling to the trees, you're going to sell to humans to sell to the trees.
And you know, I spoke to a businessman the other day, and he runs a car wash company, and we're talking about business. I was saying, so what business are you in? And he didn't say car wash. He said, I'm in the business of making people feel good.
Hey, I love it.
When he backtracked, he said, listen, you come in with your dirty car.
Yeah.
When it's cleaned, he said, we clean it, we validate it. And he said, you know what? He said, he has, in his business, he has a huge mirror on the side. So as you drive out, you can look at your new, your clean car. Yeah? I make people feel good. And I thought, it's so true.
Okay, wait, hold on. Some of you got some questions. Anybody has a question? Type your questions in. Type your questions in. I've seen some questions. People's hands are up. Type your questions in. Jacynth will answer it. And if you would like to get a couple of chapters of her ebook, you've got to say, otherwise you're not getting it. You know it works on the summit. But type your questions in first. And then how many of you would like to get some of these principles from Jacynth in her ebook? You get a couple of chapters today free of charge. How many of you would like to get that while you're typing your questions? How many of you would like to get that today? You got to say. If you don't say, you're not going to get it. I'm not going to give it to you.
And just for a short period of time, Camilita, they can get the 7 steps for a very, very short period of time.
That's 7 steps available. All 7 steps. Come on. How many of you would like it? Hey, listen. I've got to see at least 30 people saying yes, they want to. Otherwise, I'm not giving you. So carry on, Justin. They're not ready. You carry on. And get the questions in. We want to answer your question. This is really good, Justin. So it's first, obviously, looking at you as a person, then actually getting into action, finding people you can collaborate with, work with, find people who believe in you, looking at what you can do and focus. What else? Tell us what else.
And so where we started was talking about relationships. Think about the people that you in your life and that you interact with, and do not allow the naysayers to attack this. The people that say you shouldn't be, you can't. Oh, why do you want to do that? That's not really going to work. There are naysayers in our lives that actually have something to say that may prevent us.
Oh, Jacynth, the naysayers, Jacynth, talk to us about that.
Yeah, and so guard your mind. Yeah, do not open the door to these people. Do not let them into your mind.
Let me check how many people said they want it. I think I need to see how some more people said that they want Jacynth's free ebook, and then I'm going to send it. Not enough people have said it yet, so
yeah.
I need to hear.
We'll hang on to that. And so there are people in your lives who you tell them about an idea and they say, really? Do you really want to do that? It comes in different shapes and forms.
Wow.
It comes in different shapes and forms. So it might not be you shouldn't, you couldn't, you can't. But that subtle questioning that says, okay, that sounds a good idea. Do you think now's the right time?
Ooh.
You ought to be doing it. Yeah, some of this ringing true to you. There are little ways that they sneak in the doubts, the questioning, the challenge.
Okay, I want the book. They're begging. Okay, I'll give you the book. You gotta get the book now. Everybody says yes. Okay, it's all there for you. Boom, it's all there. You get it. It's okay to be the friend for the next 10 days. Download it now.
Yep, next 10 days.
Find out more about membership and also a strategy session with Jacynth. How many of you would like to speak with Jacynth about this particular topic right now? This is powerful because I had that happen to me yesterday.
Yes.
That's right there yesterday. Are you sure you should be doing that? I'm like, there's my mantra. You know my mantra. Never accept advice from anyone more messed up than you are. So, okay, everybody's interested in the book. Okay, download. Look at the link is there. I've sent it to everybody. The link is there. I'm going to post it again. Download all the stuff. Book it. How many of you want to start? Emma says she needs to speak with you. So yeah, book a strategy session with her now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Let's get cracking. Finish on this one. Let's talk about that one there for a bit. That one, because I got that yesterday from someone. And I just said to Andrew, how dare they tell me to do that?
And you have to send it right back. Send it right back. Yeah, be like the raincoat. Let it just wash over you and send it right back. Don't even contemplate it, because that's what's meant to happen. Is that actually you start to think, perhaps, maybe, I'm not quite sure. Shall I revisit it? Send it right back. Right back from where it came. Send it right back there. And think about your relationships. If you have people around you that it's woe is me, this is wrong, that's not wrong, have you heard about, what about, remove yourself. Yeah, remove yourself. I always say relationships are like a chest of drawers. So in the olden days, I'm old, you see, you know, I put all my good stuff in the top drawer, and at the bottom stuff was the everyday stuff that I didn't really wear. Relationships are the same. Yes, that we have the good relationships in our top drawer, but every now and again, just like your clothes, you need to do a clear out. You need to kind of say, okay, that was good back then, but I need to move it over somewhere else now, or throw it out altogether.
What if those people are family or spouse or close friends? How do you deal with them? Because sometimes there are a lot of people, especially they see an opportunity, their spouse or family or loved ones don't see the opportunity that they see, and that literally, I found myself in that position in the past, and you know, you're sort of playing small so that others won't feel insignificant around you, and you sort of hold back. How do you overcome that? I mean, I overcame, let me tell you, but how do the average person overcome that?
Yeah, and I understand that, and your instinct is to kind of want to fight back, or to say, you know, to kind of get some kind of attitude. But I would go back to kind of understanding, what is it that they fear? Yeah. Are they fearing your success? What is it that they fear? Are they fearing that perhaps if you go off and do something, you won't love them anymore, or you won't have time for them anymore? And it's really to try and get to understand what the fear is, and to try and share with them your reason why, particularly if it's your spouse. Yeah, it's going to enable us, you know, for me, it's going to enable my husband and I to go and sit on the beach in Jamaica for 3 months a year. Yeah, so he understands then why sometimes I'm working so hard, or why I want to do what I do, and then doesn't say, Jacynth, you've never got time for me.
Right.
So it's understanding what is it that they fear, and then what is it that, whatever you're doing, what were the benefits?
But you have to communicate that with them.
You have to confront it, because actually what we do sometimes is we kind of wait and hope it's going to get a little bit better, and we don't, and then maybe.
How many of you are enjoying this? How many of you are really enjoying this? Like seriously enjoying this? Give us some testimonials now. We want some testimonials. # Global Champion Summit on Twitter now. Give us some testimonials. How many of you are enjoying this? You think, wow, I want some of this, and you definitely want to get Jacynth's book. Yeah, my wife and I are excited.
Somebody's put, sometimes you have to walk away from relatives, and there are times that you do have to walk away. Yeah. It wouldn't be my first port of call at all, but there are times that actually, for a number of reasons, we do have to walk away from things that are toxic within our lives.
How do you feel? Question right there. I know guys, listen, you want to get all of this, you better go and get a book. Like, the link is there, just go get it. Like, just, you want to talk to her, book a 15 minutes discovery call. Just do something, okay? We're not going to cover everything, so just do something. Download it now. How do you deal with the guilt when you feel as if you're sort of displeasing them as a loved one? How do you deal with that guilt? Because sometimes you feel guilty.
Yeah, you do. And that's why I say you've got to, communication is a tool that we can all use, and that we have to learn to develop. We have to continually work at the art of communication and understanding that communication, the way I communicate with you, Camilita, is very different to the way I communicate with my children, different to the way I communicate with my husband. And so I've had to start to understand. So this is my second marriage. We've been married nearly 6 years. And every day I'm kind of getting to know him and trying to get to understand how best to communicate with him. I make no assumptions. And so I have to approach this. And because it's my husband, I have to work at it. And we have to find we work at finding that solution. But there are times when you feel like you've done all that you can do. And that's when you have to then go back to really recognizing your own value and belief in yourself and continuing. And as long as you are working and acting with all integrity and values led, then I'd say continue. Sometimes that we do need to question why are we doing, what's the greater good? And actually, are we acting in integrity? You know?
A couple of comments here. Linda is saying, thank you, inspiring and beautifully said. Come on, guys, I want some testimonials. Give me some testimonials. Pamela says it was a shock to me when friends and family might respond negatively to success. Madison says, I'm trying to honestly, wish I, he had found or want someone like her, like you. Wow. Oh, I like her honesty. I wish it was me she found. Hey! She's married. Behave yourself. I'm watching you, Madison. We love you. But we all do. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Madison, behave. So Donna says, yeah, and people are toxic as well.
Yes. Yeah. People are toxic, which is why I say, we have to guard your mind. You have to put that hedge of protection around it. You're kind of going back, understand your thoughts, understand your rationale, and stand firm in your beliefs. Sometimes we're too rocky. Yeah.
That's the reason why some of our friends and family don't believe, because we're doing it today and then tomorrow we're doing something else. And they think, but you said you were going to do this, and sort of we're unwavering, and they're like, well, I'm kind of not really sure if you are serious.
Yeah. And so we need to be who we say we are and do what we say we are. Yeah, you really do need to kind of be authentically you, so that wherever you show up the same. Yeah. In terms of your core, your essence, the stuff that keeps you standing upright.
Off your family, Jacynth. You don't have to put them off. You don't have to make them feel bad or anything like that. You embrace them. But this is who you are.
Exactly. And like I talked about relationship, maybe you change that relationship. They're still your family. Sometimes we can't get rid of them. We have to love them irrespective. But we change our approach.
Yes.
Yeah. We may have to change our approach. And that might be temporary. Who knows? But we may have to change our approach in order for one of us to survive. If not both of us to survive. But it's we always have to be rechecking, reevaluating. Then I'd say, guys, don't wait for something to go wrong before you start to reevaluate, to recheck, to reflect. Yeah, don't wait for something to go wrong. Always think, wow, that went really well. What did I do that was really good in that? So that you can continue to do more of it. Yeah, what could I do differently? What could be done differently? Those questions are paramount, because we start from a place of negativity that says, what did I do wrong?
It's powerful. I mean, look at the testimonials, look at the stories that's coming in. I mean, Lindsay talked about, wow with Lindsay, that's a wow, gosh. And again, you talked about self-preservation. It's a sad situation, but you've sometimes got to protect your mind, your mind from all of this. Wow. Gosh.
And there will come a time, and I understand that self-preservation, absolutely. And there'll come a time when maybe there is something that you can do. It may not be pick up the phone. It may not be go and say hello, but it might be a birthday. You can find it within you to drop a card, or another occasion to drop a card. So there may be something that is quite small, but it's a start, and it's when you're ready. When you're ready. But we have to, one of the hardest things is forgiveness. Easy word to say, Camilita, easy to say, oh, I forgive you. I forgive you, but I'm still holding a grudge. I haven't really forgiven you. I've not let that go. And all it does is it poisons, and it's toxic to us and to our being. Not the other person. It's toxic to ourselves. So we have to find a way of releasing that emotion, of saying, actually, I forgive you. And we know when we have forgiven, when that pain and that hurt lessens.
That's true. Guys, you got some questions. Type your questions in. We got just a couple of more minutes. We'll just send. So type your questions in. She wants to answer your questions. I am going to type in again. How many of you, let me ask a question. How many of you would like to get a 15-minute call with her, because you are there now, okay? You are there right now. And you're like, Jacynth, I need your help. I need some support. I feel as if I don't even know who I am. I haven't acknowledged my brilliance. I'm not stepped into my brilliance. How many of you are in that place right now and you'd like to speak with her? You got to tell me, or else I'm not going to give you you're not going to get it. So you're getting all the chapters. So, I mean, come on, tell us, would you like to speak with her? Because she's only going to take a couple of people to speak with. There's a lot of people on the line. So it first come, first serve. How many of you would like to speak with? I want to hear yes. Give me a drum roll, dance, do something in the chat. Let's know you're there. And then she will speak with you, depending on who you are. She will speak with you. Okay, so we all need help. So yeah, keep typing it in. And that's the link. Book a 15 minutes right now. Just give us another topic. That one day was powerful. Wow.
And just to finish on that topic, there is a saying, and it's in the Bible, that says iron sharpens iron. So in other words, be careful of who you associate with. Okay, the people at the top, the successful people, are there because they are people that think like them, but also people that are pulling them up, not pulling them down. So think about who you're associated with. The next one is, you are measured by what you do. If you don't do anything, you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah. But also you have to have your own measure. The competition is with yourself. Let me say that the competition is with you. It is not about you and somebody else, because remember, you don't know what they've had to do to get to where they are. So the competition is within you. So what are the steps and the stages that you're going to say, I've achieved, I've done that?
Say that again. Competition.
The competition is within yourself.
Wow.
Yes. You measure against yourself, not against what somebody else does, because you don't know what they've had to do to get there. And by competing with others, that means that actually there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser.
Wow.
And you're probably saying to yourself, it ain't me who's going to lose. So therefore, and so it's really important to remember that the competition is within you. The competition is about measuring your own success.
Wow.
And who defines that success? You define that success. Wait,
hold on. Stay right there. Just what right there. That right there is gold. Let me tell you why that is gold. Guys, I'm clicking the link. Subscribe to YouTube today, my YouTube channel, because some of the videos are going to go up on YouTube, so you can listen to some of it. I will tell you how you can access the full recording of all of it, but click on the link and subscribe to YouTube so you can get it. Just before you move on, let's just talk about that. Guys, don't forget, the link is there. Subscribe to YouTube and book to speak with Jacynth, okay? You get in the ebook, the membership group, you'll learn about that, the discovery call. If you are serious and this means something to you today, take action. You know me, I'm all about action. This is free. If after coming on free, you can't take action, like my inner circle, you will get my ruler, I promise. Virtual ruler, of course. You define that success. Yes. What does that mean? Because we measure success based on what we think success looks like, because of what other people have. Oh, I want to be like Camilita. I want to buy property. I want to travel the world. I want to set up this and that. I want to do like Jacynth. I want to do this. And Jacynth is traveling and she's training and she's speaking and she's coaching and whatever. Talk about, you define, what does that mean?
You define your success. One of my successes was to actually get my website up and running. I was so excited when I saw it. I really was excited, and I felt so proud that I'd got this website up and running, and I was getting some really good feedback. That was a success for me. Yeah. That's why I say it's you define it. And then my next success is the next thing and the next thing. You define, have a series of things that you are going to measure your success, a series of steps that, remember we talked about, be really clear about where you're going, your focus, your destination, your reason why. What are some of the steps that are going to give you confirmation that I'm getting there? Remember, slow and steady wins the race. So what are some of the steps that are going to be your measurement of success? That's really, really important. Somebody's having problems downloading.
She's trying.
The form.
So I'll tell you what to do. Oh God, sorry, there's a long name. Sorry. Okay, just go to jacynthivey.com, her website. I'll type it in. Okay, I will type it in. Just go to jacynthivey.com, and it's right there. Let me type it in. Just so you go ahead, I'm going to type it in.
Yeah, and the other thing is really important to do. So we have these steps, and we, some people are really kind of organized, they've got project plans, whatever, but we've got these steps that we must celebrate each of those achievements, no matter how small. So when I say measured by what you do, so I got my website up, I was like, yay, really excited, told my husband, showed him, and he was, and we kind of had I had my little celebratory dance. But we must celebrate. But the important thing as well in that celebration is celebrate in proportion to your achievement. So it wasn't time for me to book my holiday to Barbados because I got my website up and running, because that really is not in proportion. Okay, so plan those celebrations. It might be another time you think, oh, I'm going to go out with a friend, or I'm going to ring somebody. But you are measured by what you do. And it's important to tell somebody. That's because that's confirming that you've taken the next step.
Yeah,
and so
this is so powerful, guys. If nothing else, like seriously, but this right here, define your own level. This is so powerful. Like I remember week before last, when we got the keys for all the properties, the ones that we bought, and then obviously offer new ones that we're going to get. And we're thinking, well, what do we celebrate? Because I teach this, and I encourage my clients to do it. And you talk about it a lot. And I said, what are we going to do? So Andrew and I sat down, we got a nice glass of bubbly, and we sat down and watched a movie. Fantastic. And like that. That was our moment. Some people might think, well, we should have gone on holiday, we should have spent thousands. Well, we needed thousands to buy more property. So we just sat down and enjoyed, and that was our success. We celebrated together. That's it.
And that was absolutely perfect. And that was in proportion. Absolutely perfect. Yeah. And we must remember all of these stages. Let us not take it for granted. Yeah. So, for me, the website was huge, but somebody else might take that for granted. Don't take it for granted. It's a step further. It's a step further in your business. It's a step further for you achieving your why. And I want to go back to that why, because if that why doesn't create the energy, doesn't create the passion, you need to rethink.
Wow.
Yeah. So the last one, when I talk about reignite your passion, fulfill your dreams, you have to keep refueling that passion. And part of that refueling that passion, journal, start to record what are the good things, what things you need to do differently. Never forget your personal development.
Oh, I'm laughing. This is so powerful. I love it. I love it. Journal, go on.
Yeah, journal. Your personal development. And some people say, I don't know how to journal. Well, you've got a pen, you've got a piece of paper. Write down what's in your mind. Yeah, there's no magic. I kind of say there's no magic formula. Yes, you can buy books on it and blah, blah, blah. But, you've got pen, paper, you've got fingers, you can type it in. Just write, type, just keep going. In there, don't forget your personal development. Never forget that. We all ought to be continually growing. People who say they are bored are people who are not growing. Yes, if you are bored, you are not growing, you are not investing enough in yourself.
Okay, before we close up, wait, let's stay right there. Let me get, guys, I'm giving you the links again. Download the ebook now. Contact Jacynth now. If this is, Jacynth, this is ringing home to me. This morning I got up and I'm looking at all this stuff on here. Guys, one more question. We're gonna take one more question and then Jacynth is gonna close up. One more question, so ask your question now. Jacynth is here. What you're saying here is so paramount. Like, guys, if you really need someone to help you with this, get in touch with Jacynth now. Stop messing around with your life. Do it now. I sat down this morning looking at everything with the summit, watching all around. I'm thinking, gosh, I'm tired already. 2 days. And then I watched my why, which was right next to me. And I reminded myself why I'm doing this. And I felt so energized. I thought, yes. I said to my team, let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so right.
It's just so important, and once you get that energy, you can problem solve. You know, it's kind of the world is your oyster. You know, it's kind of it's almost like move out of the way, because I have a passion, I've got a vision, I've got a mission, I've got things to do, things to achieve.
Guys, if you love this, one question, type one question, one more question we're going to take. And please go to Twitter, #Global Champions Summit. Share with friends. Tell people they need to jump in. Tell people they need to do this right now. Okay? Click the links on the screen. Get Jacynth stuff. Click the link. Subscribe to YouTube so you can get all the other videos and stuff in which we've got coming out. Share on social media. Write us a testimonial. Come on, before Jacynth closes, I need at least 3 testimonials about Jacynth's section, please. Just 3 testimonials. Ask one question and then we're going to close off. I'm waiting. 3 testimonials, 1 question, and click the links. Jacynth, close us out with something that is probably one of the most important things that transformed your life while we're waiting for our question. The one thing that really transformed your thinking, how you came up with all of this book and everything. What was it?
Yeah. So I went back to thinking about, you know, the pity party and all the things that went wrong and all the things that didn't happen and they did me wrong and this went wrong and whatever else. And then actually it was thinking about, it's not what happens to you that matters. It is about what happens to you and what you do as a consequence of. If something happens to you and you do nothing, woe is you. But when something happens to you that then enables you, forces you to do something of some consequence that is going to make a difference, that starts to actually put something in your control. So stuff will happen. Stuff will always happen. It doesn't matter how successful you think you are, you believe you are, you actually are, stuff happens. That is often as well out of our control. The important thing is about what you do as a consequence. I chose to get off my assets and to do something, to say goodbye to the pity parties and to do something and to revisit me, my self-worth.
Martin says he needs you to speak with all of his officers in his office. So Martin, go to her website, jacynthivey.com. I've just sent it to you. I'm going to put it in there again. Go to the actual website, click on the links. You'll get to her website and send her a message and say, look, yeah, we obviously all is virtual, so yeah, just send her a quick message.
Yeah. And the title of my book is It's Okay to Be Different. And different equals unique. Often we look at different meaning different is bad, not good. Difference is unique. Difference is good. Difference adds value. And always remember that we are uniquely placed within this earth to add value in our own way that is different to the person next to you or the person that you surround yourself with. So it's really important. These 7 steps are about helping you to acknowledge your brilliance. There is brilliance within every single one of us. Everybody who we come into contact with. And what we have to do sometimes is just to dig around a little bit to find that and to really acknowledge and live out that brilliance.
Wow, gosh, that is just so powerful. Wow, gosh. Wow. How many of you enjoyed this? Oh, wow. How many of you enjoyed this? How many of you, tell me. You've got the link for all her stuff. How many of you enjoyed this? Tell us now. We want to get some testimonials, what Jacynth could use for her website. Go to Twitter, hashtag Global Champion Summit. Please share. We're going to be sharing that all through the day. And yeah, if you want to get the recording, let me tell you now, we will have access to the recording. You'll have access to the recording of the entire summit. Let me just send the recording here so that I'll send the link so you can access the recording now, later on today. Everybody's saying they enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wow. It feels wow. Absolutely love your wisdom. Thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. Thank you. You're awesome. See, you're awesome.
Oh, and we've just created the membership program. And that is there so that, because the answers are sometimes as well, within a group of us. So that is there for people to become a member. So you can do that. The link is there. Do join the membership group, where we will have sessions where you can talk to me directly. We can talk with each other. We will have training sessions. And we will acknowledge all of our brilliance.
I'm typing it in again for them one last time. Jacynth, thank you so much. You're amazing. I love you so much as always. And listen, you have an amazing day.
And me too.
And I'll see you at the top, darling.
I will see you at the top. And your passion and your energy are just so infectious. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Journaling.
Yes. And thank you for knowing and understanding and living and believing in your why. So yes. Thank you for the gift.
Have a great day, darling. Bye.
And you too. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Hey, everybody. No, don't bye, everybody. Tell Jacynth bye.
Yeah. Bye to me. Bye-bye.